Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Polina, and today we have a plan with me using Hobonichi Planning Essentials. It's going to be literally from Hobonichi, starting with this packaging from the Hobonichi Weeks and these free pens that also comes with your Hobonichi Weeks order. I'm just not sure if this year it's going to be a pen or a brush pen like they did that one year. We also have this optional gel pen from Uniball, and this is just a gel pen that has white ink. Everything that you need to plan actually came with your Hobonichi order. So if you're planning to order one this year, then this is the video for you if you want to utilize the freebies that you will be getting. This one is the Hobonichi Weeks Uniball Jetstream, I think, or Uni-Jetstream. That is a multi-pen. That means that you get 3 inks. You have the black, the red, and the blue. If you hear noises, that is my cat. She's playing right beside me. So here I'm just lining the pages. I'm deepening the line that is already on the planner. The pen that comes with the Hobonichi usually has a very fine tip, so they are going to be great for lining. I just don't use it very often since I prefer fine liners, but this actually works pretty well. And then I'm using the edge of this plastic cover that comes with the Hobonichi Weeks order. The packaging will have this if your order or Hobonichi Weeks that you chose is a soft cover or a textile cover. I'm going to have a video on the differences between those different textures before Hobonichi Day, which is on September 1st. So here I am lining the middle. I'm just dividing it into 2, and this is almost done. I'm just cleaning up the weekends section to make it square. So I'm just lining the very edge of this square that I made earlier, using again this plastic cover as a ruler. You can also use, alternatively, if you have a pencil board, this is great for that too. Designing a layout with just a gel pen is really fun, and there's very little fuss. You don't have to wait for things to dry, and you can write on the page without worrying about bleeding or bleeding through the paper and things like that. So here I'm just writing a little line on the first grid box. I'm using the ruler, but you don't really have to. This is such a short line. And then I'm writing the days of the week. And that section is complete. Now we're moving on to the rest of the right page. Here I'm going to be making a tracker, and I used 2 different pen colors, the black and the red. I'm not going to be using the blue in this layout because it's not going to fit the color scheme that I want to have for this week. And then I'm sectioning off the area under that tracker, and I'm going to flip it. So this little area is going to be landscape in contrast to the rest of the page, which is in portrait. So here I am just aligning the different grid lines, and then I'm writing down wins as well as the days of the week. So that is what it looks like now, but we are not done yet. There's quite a little bit to do still. So here I am sectioning that area. I could have just let it be one big area there, but I decided to line it up because I've been lining this layout quite heavily, and this is just going to tie it up all together. And then here I'm actually making little header boxes for that area, and I'll show you what I do with that because there's a really fun artistic part towards the end of this section of the video. So here I'm just bordering or lining the border that I want for the bottom of the right page. So this is what we have so far. You can stop here and write down your headers. So here I am doing a little bit more decoration, but this is just for aesthetic purposes. This is just to make the layout pretty. And I am making boxes at the top where my headers will go, because I feel like if they're just floating there, it's not going to tie up well with the rest of the headers that I made for the right page. So here it's like a tab shape, and I thought that was needed because this was a little space, but it's quite tall. And then I took my brush pen and I am just filling in those little shapes that I made. I didn't do it very neatly, but if you are doing this, you can do it very slowly and you will be able to do this better than me. Since this is a brush pen, I do suggest that you wait a little bit to make sure that this area is completely dry before you touch it or write on it. So I think you will have, or you already have, a good idea of what we're going to do with these boxes that are filled in with black ink. We are going to be using the white pen over that. But let me go ahead and finish the whole page of lining, because there's quite a way to go. And I was filming, so the angle isn't really ideal to make things neat, as it always is whenever I am filming. I have to veer away from my camera and my camera stand. So here, this is just a really long, not square, but rectangle, and I'm just filling that in. I left out all the lining here because I feel like some of you might feel satisfaction seeing those blank areas turn into all black. So I'm just gonna talk through this part, but I'm basically doing the exact same thing that I did for the other boxes. And I feel like this kind of decoration is very bold, so it's not going to be for everyone. Alternatively, you can use a different color. You can even use slightly watered down ink, and I think I'm going to try that next time. I always say that I'm going to try new things, and then I forgot, so hopefully I don't forget to try using ink, watered down ink, like fountain pen ink with a little bit of water. You mix it together and then make these. Let's see if that will work. But definitely the brush pen does work, and it looks really good now. And then I've taken the white pen that I showed you earlier, and I am making my headers. So here I made it a little bit bolder, like thicker letters, so that it does stand out. Next time, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think they're fine, even if it just is written down normally. I'm not a big fan of what I made, but it does work, so no complaints. Maybe just next time I'll make it a little bit neater. It's just way too bold, and I was aiming to be a little bit more delicate than this. Towards the end of this section of the video, I will have a page anatomy explaining all of the headers that I am writing down. Of course, there's obvious ones like notes and this week headers, exactly what they are, but the others aren't so obvious, so I'm going to be explaining that later on. And I do hope that you like page anatomies in my Plan With Me's. And then this is the proof that there is going to be no bleed, not from that pen. So let's go ahead and talk about the page anatomy. So for the left page, I do have the today section, which is a day overview. And then next to that, I have tasks. This is only for Monday through Friday. There is no weekend because I don't work on the weekend. And this is the work planner that I'm using. And then at the bottom for the weekends, I just put my focus sections there. And then for the right page, I have my timeline, and that is a Gantt chart. So I'm going to be showing you that maybe in a week's time in Instagram. And then we also have my hours. So we have the assessment little box as well as the line graph section. And then under that, we have the wins. So I have a weekly accomplishment that I will fill in on Friday at the end of the week. And then I have a 1 line a day accomplishment. And then I have projects as well as admins, a little area, just so at a glance I will know what projects or admins I did. And then at the very bottom, I have my notes section. Here are some ideas of how you can use your notes, but there are so many more ways to use it. But that's it for my work planner. Let's move on to another plan with me, and this is in my social media planner. And this is a simpler layout, a simpler option, using also the multi-pen that came with the Hobonichi Weeks in 2019. So here I am just deepening the lines that are already in planner, and for the vertical line I just followed the first dots. I just connected those dots and made that column. So this is a pretty narrow column than if I'd halved the page. And that's actually all that I'm going to do with the left page for now, and I'm moving on to the right page. So I'm deepening the invisible line, so that darker line that runs the length of the right page, and that is called, well, that's what they call it, an invisible line. And then I'm also extending the daily sections onto the right page. And as you saw there, it's not very straight because the side or the inner portion of that page is kind of difficult to write on because it doesn't want to lay open, like lay flat. It like curves inwards, so that's what happened there. So I also made another tracker, and then I completely regretted deepening the invisible line because now I wanted to extend it even more, but then that would allow me to have a different column for another topic that's also a daily extension. And then I just wrote down a couple of trackers here, and this is what it looks like. So just a whole column of trackers on the right page. So if you want to have fancier headers and you don't want to do calligraphy or styled titles, then you can just do this. Just draw a circle on circle and then write the title in the middle. And here I'm showing you a couple different options, and I wrote tasks here. It should have been content, but oh well. And then for the last one, this is very similar to how I wanted the style of font in the earlier plan with me to look like, but didn't work out. And then this is the simplest one. So I used 2 different colors for this tile for the decoration, a red and a blue, and then I used the black to write the header. I'm still debating whether I should use black ink or blue ink for the actual writing, but I kind of really like how this turned out. It's very structured. If you like that, then this is for you. So this is the page anatomy, and we have live posts for today. Tasks section will have all the to-dos for production. And then I have my content, my production reminders, and a line graph for hours spent on content production. I wanted to start that because I had no idea how much time I'm really spending on YouTube to make videos. So here I have trackers. This is content with short description for each of the social media that I have. And that is the simpler option. And this one was the more complicated one, more complex layout with a little bit more decoration. But both of them using primarily the ballpoint pens that came with the Hobonichi. So you really don't need quite a lot of things to make a nice layout. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more layout ideas. And I'll see you in the next one.